Hello, I'm Jennifer with Jennifer Decorates, and today I'd like to show you some great fall hearth decorating ideas. So here I'm going to decorate with two metal pumpkins. I got one large and one a smaller size. Now when I'm placing stuff, I usually put the largest object on the outside. Now what I love about these pumpkins, if you'll look, the vines and the stem look like rust, and they completely look beautifully contrasted against the silver galvanized part of the pumpkin. Now I'm not one to just kind of set something down. I like to what I call nestle it in. So I'll kind of rummage through my decorations and see what I can use. And for this one, I'm putting leaves down, a little white pumpkin, some acorns, and then for a little extra fun, I'm going to throw in a little bit of feathers. It just completes the look and makes it look naturally placed. So on the right side of the hearth, I decided to make a floral, and I wanted to have a little bit of height. So I used these grass stems that are very muted for the middle, and then next I put in the acorn branches, and then around the bottom I put in these little seeded flowers. Now to really give this a warmth look, I wrapped around a wood bead tassel that I thought completed the look gorgeous. And then at the bottom of this pretty floral arrangement, I added a sweet little bird. So here's the overall completed look. If you'll notice, we have a lot of textures. We have a lot of metal, glass, wood, and then the florals. And I feel like this whole look is pulled off without being overcomplicated. Here's a great alternative to a garland, and that's this wooded bead garland with cute little clothespins on them. On each one, I did different leaves, and this would actually be a great project to do with kids. You could either use real leaves, or you could get a stem and clip off and let the kids put each of their favorite leaves on the clothespins. And here I have 3 pumpkins placed together, all different sizes, and they're all completely different, but they still work well together. Now on the left side of the hearth, I've got a tall gray lantern. Now look closely, I tied this beautiful bow on the top. Now the ribbon is not your traditional fall ribbon, but what I love about it is the feather has a little bit of gold in it, and then the gray really pulls out the color in the lantern. Now if you'd like to learn how to make a bow, I'm going to put a link in the top right corner of the screen. Now at the bottom of the lantern, I placed a eucalyptus and cotton candle ring. And then to give it a little bit more of a fall look, I just snipped a little bit of the florals that I used before and tucked them in around, and it turned out great. So here's the finished look. This isn't your traditional fall decorating, but all of the muted tones and the earth tones just create a really simple and beautiful look. So in this next look, I really wanted to create a minimalistic look. So I chose these iron taper holders, varying heights, and I have them sitting on top of a cut piece of wood. The tapers themselves are more of a burnt orange. They're not really a bright orange. And what's really cool about this is once Christmas comes around, change the tapers out, and you can even add a little bit of greenery around the bottom, and you've got a whole new season look. So keeping with the minimalist look, I chose a wood bead garland, but I liked it because it was a lighter wood and it really pops off of the dark mantle and off of the white brick. And swooping them into 2 layers just really added a little bit more color. So here's another example of nesting in a decoration. I really like this turkey. It's really monochromatic. It still falls into that minimalistic look. But if I had not placed any of the sprigs around him, he just wouldn't look finished. But having put a little bit of color around him just gave it a polished look. So here is the finished minimalistic look, and it's actually got just a little bit of a Scandinavian flair. Now if I just had a fire going, this look would be totally complete. Next look, I really wanted to create a woodsy cabin feel. So I got a black ash bucket and I filled it with large pine cones. So sitting around the ash bucket, I put an orange pumpkin that was bright orange, but I did a technique to it that made it look old. If you'd like to learn how to do that, I'm going to put a link at the top right of the screen. Next to the orange pumpkin, I placed a black and white pumpkin and put a little bit of wheat sprigs around it. So I wanted a way to display some blankets, and I used an old milk crate carton that I found at the flea market. The wood and metal tones just really pulled out that woodsy cabin feel I wanted. and I chose blankets that really pulled out fall colors. This one in particular has just great warm colors. So here's the finished woodsy look. I even kept the same beaded garland that I used in the minimalistic design because it just added another layer of wood and then one more color to the whole entire look. So for this look, I used my floral again because I love the height and the color, and then I found this whimsical pumpkin. I love the color of it, the shape. It totally reminds me of a Dr. Seuss book. So on the right side, I added this wood open lantern with a rope handle. I placed 3 different candles in of different heights, and then around the candles I just added a little bit of fall decor, a little bit of leaves, a little bit of acorn, and a little bit of berries. Next to it I placed this mercury glass pumpkin that really shows light everywhere, and again nestled some little orange berries around the pumpkin. I hope this video gave you some inspiring ideas on how to decorate your hearth. If you saw some things that you might like to have, I've got some links below in the description. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because we'll have a video out next week. Have a great day.